We are hitting record. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for core stability today. Today's theme is disco core stability. I'm going to go ahead and find my mat so we can get ready for our warm-up. Let me go ahead and press play on our music. I almost forgot the best part. Alrighty. We will be starting with our hundreds. Feet back flat on the ground, knees bent, feet also flat on the floor, palms down at our hips and facing the floor. We're going to raise our head off the ground, chin tucked in towards our chest, and we are going to pump our arms up and down. I'm pumping my arms together, and we're going to just do these here for a second. You'll feel a nice burn in the belly as we're getting started here. Making sure to keep our face forward as we are doing our hundreds. Keep that back flat on the floor, engage that core. Nice work, everybody. Keep it up just a few more seconds here. Alrighty, and shake it out. Your head can rest on the ground for a second here. We'll have our three options of crunch, roll up, or sit up. If you are doing a crunch today, feet flat on the floor, hands behind your head, and we're gonna bring our head just off the ground, tucking in our chin towards our chest before lowering. If we're doing a sit up today, hands straight up towards the sky, and we're gonna do a full sit up, bringing our body and our chest forward. Our hands will go out in front of us and lower. If we are doing a roll up today, our legs are going to be flat on the ground as well. Hands up towards the sky, and we're going to sit up, hands outstretched, and our hands are now parallel over top of our legs. Doing whatever is best for you today. Maybe it's a combination of all, but today I will be doing crunches. Keep that core engaged. If you're doing crunches, back flat on the ground. Keeping them up there. Take them at your own pace, the pace that is good for you. Nice work. Keeping those crunches, roll-ups, or sit-ups going. A few more here. Last few. Nice job, everybody. We'll be going into our single leg circles, keeping our legs bent and our feet flat on the floor. We're gonna raise our right leg up in the air. Our toe is going to be pointed, and we're gonna be making circles to the right. You can do these small or large, but you want your back to be touching the floor the whole time. So make sure that you are doing a good speed for you, as well as a good width of a circle. We do them a little bit bigger, you feel a little bit different of a sensation in your abs than you do when they are small. You're working different parts of the abs. So maybe some of your circles are bigger, maybe some of them are smaller, but make sure to keep that back flat on the floor.
20 minutes I have to take on.
Yeah.
Nice work, everybody. We're gonna go ahead and switch directions, moving our right leg to the left. Nice work, everybody. Keeping that core engaged, reminding yourself it's okay to breathe. Alrighty, shaking it out. Bringing our right leg back to the floor. We're gonna bring our left leg up in the air at a diagonal. Toe is pointed. We will also start these to the right. Again, doing these at a pace that's right for you. And a big or a small circle depending on what is best for you. Sometimes you'll feel a little bit different on your right versus your left leg. Nice work. Filling all of that through your core, engaging those thigh muscles. And opposite direction, we are now going to the left. Remember to take breaks if you need. This workout's for you. Drink lots of water. Modify anything that you need. Challenge yourself where you can. Check in with yourself during your warm-up. How is your body feeling today? And go ahead and shake it out. We'll be doing a single leg stretch. We'll be bringing our right knee to our chest. You can keep your head rested on the floor for now, giving yourself a nice little shimmy shake. We'll be bringing our chin up off the floor, or head off the floor, chin tucked in towards our chest. Now that my right knee is towards my chest, my left leg is extended out and hovering off of the floor. Toe is pointed up towards the sky. I'm going to push my right leg out forward. It is now hovering. My left knee is now in towards my chest. We'll be alternating, bringing our knees towards our chest, while the opposite leg is straight out in front of us. Nice work, everybody. Our single leg stretch here. Nice job. Couple more. And rest. Go ahead, if you need a break, put your feet flat on the floor. We'll be doing our double leg stretch. So tucking both of our knees in towards our chest, holding them here for a second, getting a nice little stretch in, a little relief before we go ahead and extend both of our legs out in front of us before tucking them back in. Doing these at a height that is good for you, but making sure to keep your head up off the floor, chin tucked in to your chest. Mine are a little bit higher off the floor, aimed more up towards the sky at an angle. This is the place where I feel most comfortable, where my back is still on the ground, but I'm getting a nice workout in. So find that distance for you. Couple more here. And great work, everybody, shaking it out. We're gonna go ahead into a single straight leg stretch. Bringing our right leg up towards the sky. Our left leg is gonna be bent and feet flat on the floor. We're gonna go ahead and bring our right hand up behind our ear, elbow out stretch to the right, and bring our left hand towards our right ankle. We're gonna go ahead and do this little crunch. Kind of feeling that stretch here. Crunching it towards the right with our right leg up towards the sky. We'll go quick with these ones because we will be doing them later. Putting our right leg back on the floor, left leg up towards the sky, left hand behind left ear, right hand towards left ankle. Again, we'll be doing these later, so we'll just do a few here before we go into our nice little crunch here. And return down. Back to that single leg stretch. We'll be bringing our right leg up towards the sky. Our left leg is now hovering on the ground towards the floor. We'll be bringing both of our hands towards our right ankle, and we will switch. Scissor, bringing our right leg down towards the ground, still hovering. Our left leg up towards the sky. Now we're reaching to our left ankle. And switch, keeping our legs straight as we're doing this. Alternating left and right. Keep hovering off the ground the whole time. We want to keep our heads off the ground. Only bring your leg as close to the ground as you can that is comfortable, where your back is still flat on the ground and you don't feel too much of strain. But enough that you're working. And shaking it out. Bringing it into our double leg straight leg stretch. Feet both are up towards the sky. Hands are flat on the ground, palms are pushing down into the floor. We're gonna go ahead and lower our legs for 3 counts. 1, 2, 3, and in 1 count, bring them back to our resting position or start position. Take these at your own pace. I'm counting on a 3 count down, 1 count up. Only going a distance where your back is still flat on the floor. This may be a large distance, this may be a short distance. Doing these at a pace that is right for you, a distance that is right for you as well. My abs are definitely feeling it at this point. Nice work, everybody. Alrighty, shaking it out here. We're gonna be going into our crisscross crunch. You're more than welcome to bring it into a bicycle. For our crisscross crunch, we are gonna go hands behind our ears. We're not pulling on our necks, we're just using them as guidance, bringing our right elbow to left knee and towards left knee and left elbow to right knee. I'm doing these in a crunch, so my head is coming off the floor, but I'm not going into a full sit-up. Challenge here, you can bring your feet off the floor into a tabletop, or you can extend this all the way into a bicycle where your legs are alternatingly going straight, still bringing those elbows towards the knee. Nice twist and rotation here. Great work, everybody. We're gonna go ahead and shake it out, and we're gonna be going into our standing flow. I'm gonna grab a quick sip of water here before we go into it. We'll be doing all of these exercises on our right side of our body before we go into our left. The first one we're gonna do is calf raises. This one is gonna be together. So we are standing now, feet hip width apart. My hands are on my hips. You can have them out in a T formation to help with balance if you would like. I'm transferring all of my weight onto my toes. Heels are coming up off the floor, standing nice and tall, engaging my core. Breathing through it here. Nice calf raises. And now we're gonna go into our side toe tap with our right leg. My right leg is gonna be propped up onto my toe, and I'm gonna extend my leg out to the right, touching the ground with my toe before I bring it back to center. My hands again are just staying on my hips. That's where I feel comfortable. Toe tap wide to the right, toe tap back into the center. You'll feel this on the outside of your right glute. Keep that belly button tucked in towards your spine. Nice work, everybody. Right side toe tap. We'll be going into a lateral leg abduction. When we are tapping our toe out to the right, we're gonna lift our leg up off the ground, still to the right side, and lower it back down into a toe tap, bringing that toe tap back to center. Wide toe tap, bring leg up off floor, tap it on the ground, and back to center. You can keep your leg out to the side where you're just doing an abduction, down to a toe tap, and back up. Getting a few more reps there. You'll, again, feel this on the outside of your right hip. Your glutes will be burning. I know mine are. Couple more here. And now we're gonna bring it into a lateral high knee. When my toe tap to the out wide, into a high knee. So it's a wide high knee. Go back into your toe tap, bring your knee up towards your chest, keeping that knee out wide, that leg out wide. You'll feel this in the top part of your hip and top part of your outside glute. Nice work. Couple more here. Alrighty, shaking it out. We're gonna go ahead and go into a wide leg forward fold. Feet are wider than hip width apart. We're slowly bending forward, aiming to touch the middle of our mat or middle of our feet. Feeling that stretch all through the backside of our legs. Holding it here for a few deep breaths. Inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. Sinking deeper into that stretch. And standing nice and tall. Back into our calf raises before we go to the left side. Bringing our weight up to our toes, heels off the floor. Feet are hip width apart. And toe taps to the left. My hands are on my hips. My left foot is tapping out wide to the left, bringing my toe back in the center before I tap wide to the left again. Nice work, you guys. We're feeling that burn on the left sides of our hips and glutes now. Standing nice and tall, belly button in towards your spine. Bringing this into our lateral leg abductions. Next toe tap out wide, leg comes up off the floor before it taps the floor and goes back into abduction again. I always had a hard time between abduction and adduction, and my professor said, aliens like to abduct, so just pretend that they're taking your limb away from your body, and I've never forgot it since. Taking our leg away from our body, up off the floor, and bring it into a lateral high knee. Wide high knee, lower back to the floor. Wide high knee, lowering back to the floor to our toes. You might be feeling your right glute also burning. It was just worked. It's stabilizing your body, so it's a little sore here, so you'll feel it as well. Nice work, everybody. A few more here. Alrighty. Bringing it into a wide leg forward fold. Feet hip wider than hip width apart. We are bending down towards the floor. Hands are aiming for the mat. Feeling that stretch through the back side of our body. Going to where it feels comfortable for you. It may be further this time. It may be a little bit higher since you just worked your legs and it's sore. Just aiming for a nice stretch on the back side of our legs. Great job, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and get a sip of water if you would like to join me, and then we'll be going to the ground for our floor flow. Sitting back down on the ground. Back is flat, legs are bent, feet flat on the floor, palms down towards the ground. We'll be going into our corkscrew, bringing both legs straight up in the air, toes pointed forward. You can lower them down a little bit into a diagonal. We're gonna make a circle with both of our feet touching, both of our legs touching to the right. When we make that full circle, come back down to the bottom, we're gonna go ahead and go to the left for our corkscrew, making a circle to the right with both of our legs and to the left. Nice job, everybody. We're hitting all parts of our abs and our glutes today for our core stability.
The time is 1:16 p.m.
Alrighty, shaking it out. Feet are going to lower back down to the ground, giving us a nice little break. Our hands are gonna go up towards the sky, fingertips outstretched, palms facing forward, and our legs are gonna go into a tabletop position. So my knees are still bent, my feet are flexed, toes up towards the sky. We're gonna go ahead and do our dead bugs. I'm gonna bring my right hand back, extending it back overhead behind me, and my left leg is gonna extend forward, hovering over the floor. We're turning both of them to center before I bring my left hand back behind me and my right leg extends. Opposite arm, opposite leg extension here. We're lowering them towards the floor, and we'll be doing our dead bugs. Nice job, everybody, keeping it up here. Taking these at a pace that's right for you. Keeping that back flat on the floor, engaging your core, bringing your belly button towards your spine. Nice work. We'll be going into our upside down tabletop twists, keeping our legs exactly in that tabletop position. Knees are bent, legs are bent at a 90-degree angle, toes are up towards the ceiling. We're gonna be bringing both of our legs together towards the right. Our left hip is gonna come up off the floor. We're not gonna go all the way toward the ground, but we're gonna just go to where our hip comes up off the floor, relying on our hip or our ab muscles to bring us back to to the other side, or alternating right and left, kind of like a windshield wiper, but not all the way through. Just rocking back and forth. Nice job, everybody. Sitting nice and strong here. Few more. And lowering our legs down to the floor. We're gonna bring our knees a little bit wider than hip width apart, heels on the floor, toes up towards the sky. We're gonna be doing wide leg glute bridges. So we're gonna, now that our feet are in our right position, we're gonna bring our hands down to the ground, palms on the floor, pushing into the ground where we need. Our hips are gonna come up off the ground, extending, trying to get into that straight line from shoulder to knee. Our shoulders are gonna remain on the floor. We're gonna lower our hips down to the ground and flex our legs as we bring them back up off the floor. Up and down for our glute bridges, keeping our feet flexed. Engage that core the whole way and help support you here. Nice work, everybody. Squeeze your glutes at the top before you lower. Nice job. A few more here. And rest. We're gonna bring our feet back and our knees back into that tabletop position where our knees are bent at 90 degrees, toes are up towards the sky. We're gonna do our tabletop toe taps, hands again, palms on the floor. We're gonna alternate doing our toe taps, bringing our right leg down towards the floor, touching the floor with our toes, bringing it back up before we lower our left leg, keeping it bent the whole time throughout the motion. Alternating here for our tabletop toe taps. Engaging that core the whole time. We want our back to stay flat on the floor. If you're feeling that arch, just rotate your hips a little bit. Reposition yourself to where you can get your lower back to touch the floor. Again, take these at a pace that's right for you. Nice job, everybody. Feel a nice burn through our thighs and core here. Alrighty, keeping our feet in our legs in that tabletop position, we're gonna bring it into a tabletop crunch. Again, hands can go behind your ears if you would like. If not, hands can be down at your sides. We're gonna be going into a crunch, bringing our shoulder blades up off the floor before lowering them back down. We want our head to come up with us, keeping our chin tucked in towards our chest. And we're just doing tabletop crunches here. Engage that core. Nice work, everybody. Shoulder blades come up off the floor as high as you can get them without fully sitting. And lower. Great job, everybody. A few more here. And shaking it out. Remember that exercise we did at the beginning that I said we were gonna do again later? Now is that time. We're gonna bring our right leg up straight towards the ceiling. Left leg is now bent, foot is flat on the floor. And we are gonna cross body kind of crunch here. So right arm is bent, hands behind my ear, and my left arm is gonna reach across left hand to right ankle. Right leg is straight up towards the sky. And we're just doing this cross crunch with a straight leg here. Just on the right side to start. Getting that twist here. Right shoulder stays on the floor. The left shoulder comes up off the ground. Trying to get our left hand to touch left foot or ankle. May land somewhere along your shin or your knee, and that's okay too. A few more here. And switch. Right leg goes back down, left leg goes straight up towards the sky. Left hand behind left ear, right hand to left ankle. Nice work. And shake it out. Now we're gonna keep both of our feet up to the sky and do double trouble like crunch here. So our feet are straight up towards the sky, legs are up towards the ceiling. Both of our hands are gonna reach towards our ankles. Getting a nice crunch here. Arms keeping them straight, trying to get them up towards our ankles. Nice work, everybody. Staying nice and strong through this motion. Nice work. And rest. We're gonna go ahead and do alternate leg lift, bend, and lower. I know that was a bunch of words, but we'll break it on down. My legs are now bent again in that neutral position where my feet are flat on the floor, my hands are down at my sides. We're gonna go ahead and do right leg to start. We'll stay on our right leg for a little bit and switch to our left. My right leg is gonna go straight up towards the ceiling to start. Then we're gonna bend our knee. We're gonna straighten it, we're gonna lower it, straighten it out, and bring it straight up towards the ceiling again. Bend it, lower, straighten it out to where it's hovering over the floor, bringing it straight up towards the sky again, bending, lowering, and straightening into that motion. It's kind of like a backwards bike. Nice work, everybody. Nice fluid motion here. Doing them at a pace that's best for you. Few more. And switch. Left leg now up straight towards the sky. We're gonna bend our knee back, lower our leg foot towards the floor, straightening our leg out to where it's hovering off the floor, bringing it straight up to where it's up towards the sky, bending it, lowering it, straightening it out, and bringing it up towards the sky again. Nice work, everybody. Staying nice and strong through the motion, back flat on the floor, engaging that core, keeping that belly button tucked in towards the spine, and remembering to breathe through your movements. Great job, shaking it out here. We're gonna be doing our lower ab crunch here. So feet are gonna go straight up towards the sky, and this movement is gonna be very small. We're gonna kind of crunch just our lower body. So hands are gonna be flat on the floor, palms facing the ground, putting pressure as needed. My legs are extended and they're touching together. Feet are up towards the ceiling. My bottom is gonna come up off the floor ever so slightly, and we're just kind of pushing our bottom off the floor, so our legs are gonna go a little bit higher towards the sky, and we're gonna get that lower ab crunch here. It's a very small movement. just ever so slightly lifting our bodies off the floor. Nice work, you guys. Keeping it up here. Alrighty, shaking it out. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a sip of water before we go into our bird dogs. If you don't need a water and you know what your bird dog is, go ahead and get started. Alrighty, bird dog, I am now up on my knees, no longer on my back, and I'm in a traditional tabletop position where my knees are flat on the floor, and so are my hands. I am going to extend my right hand out forward in front of me, and my left leg is going to go back. We are now doing the same thing as a dead bug, but we're now in a formal tabletop position where we're now on our hands and knees. Tucking, bringing them back before we extend our left hand out and our right leg back, and bring it back. Alternating here at your own pace for our bird dogs. Nice work, everybody. Trying to keep our backs flat as we're doing this. We don't want to hunch our backs and we don't want to drop them really low. We want to engage our core the whole time, keeping a nice neutral back as we are going through. Nice job. And to continue into this movement, we're going to go ahead and bring it into a bird dog crunch. When I'm tucking back in, so my right arm is forward and my left leg is back, as I'm bringing them back, I'm gonna try to touch my right elbow and left knee together before I go into extension of the opposite. So left arm out, right leg out, tucking in, left elbow to right knee. We're gonna start just on the right side, doing our bird dog crunches. So right hand goes out, left leg extends back, and we're gonna do our crunch here. And we're just gonna do it on this side for a few, and then we'll switch. You will notice that you are gonna have a round back when you are doing the crunch, and that is okay. It's a little bit different of a movement here. Nice job. And switch. Left arm extends, left leg goes behind, and now we crunch as we come in. If you do not get elbow to knee, that is okay. Just try to get them as close as possible. A few more. Nice job. We're gonna go ahead and lay on our bellies. And we're gonna have our hands up by our shoulders, and our forearms are gonna be flat on the ground. Now that I'm fully extended and my whole body is on the ground with my belly button on the mat, I'm gonna go ahead and without my hands, I'm going to lift my chest up off the floor, shoulders are up. We are now doing a back extension, or the swan pose. And then I'm gonna use my hands to push me a little bit further, release my hands from the ground and hold here for a few seconds and lower. We're really working the back parts of our back and our neck muscles as well as our abs here. So again, head up off the floor, chest up off the floor, shoulders off as high as I can go without hand support. Push a little further with my hands, release my hands, hold here, and release. We'll do two more. Chest comes up off the floor, shoulders off, use my hands for a little extra assistance, let go, trying to keep that high position, and release. And one last one. You may notice that each time you got a little bit further, or it was the same time every time. That's okay too. And rest. We're gonna go ahead and do a back extension with shoulder mobility or rotation. So kind of getting into this reverse boat position. My chest is going to come up off the floor. My hands are extended out in front of me, so my hands are off the floor, and so are my feet, kind of like we were doing swimmers. So now that I'm in this position, I'm going to go ahead and bring my hands out wide, down towards my hips, and back overhead. So jumping jack position with our hands, kind of doing that, or like a snow angel. We're doing that motion as we are doing a back extension. So keeping our face forward, we are getting our shoulder mobility. You'll feel it in your back. Do it only where it feels comfortable, but don't go so far that it's painful. And if it is painful in any way, maybe just take a nice break here or do a workout that feels good for you. A few more here. And rest. We'll go ahead into a child's pose or a resting position, just giving ourselves a little break. I'm sitting on top of my feet with my knees bent underneath of me. My chest goes towards the floor. My hands are extending out in front of me. I like to open up my knees a little bit so I can fit in between try to get my chest as close to the floor as I can. And I'm just gonna hold here. I'm gonna walk my hands further out in front of me, trying to really get that stretch through the sides of my lats, my shoulders, my back. A nice little reward to ourselves for all the hard work we were doing. Good job, everybody. We'll be going into swimming. So just kind of like we were just talking about, we'll be back on the ground. Our bellies are on the floor. We'll be in that back extension position where our feet are up off the floor. My knees are still touching the floor, but my shins down to my feet are off the floor. My hands are out in front of me. My shoulders are off the floor as well, so are my arms. We are gonna alternate pumping our legs, our feet, and our hands. It doesn't have to be in a perfect synchronized position, so my right and left don't have to match, but we're just gonna go ahead and pulse here for swimming. And get into it. Nice swimming here. Nice job, everybody. We're swimming to staying alive. Feel like that's fair. And rest. Now we'll be doing our heel beats. So my hands are kind of over top, or my arms are over top of each other, just my forearms, just so my head has a place to rest. We're gonna go ahead and bring our feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, heels towards each other, toes pointed away. We're gonna go ahead and squeeze our glutes and bring our heels in towards each other about an inch. It's a very small movement, but you'll be feeling that on the outside, the lower quadrant of your quads or your glutes. And we'll be pulsing here. So just squeezing and bringing your heels a little bit closer towards each other and releasing. Nice work. Feeling that burn. And rest. We're gonna go ahead and do windshield wipers, bringing our feet a little bit closer to our glutes, just bending our knees. We're gonna go ahead and bring our legs to the right, or our feet down toward the right, and drop them down to the left, just alternating here. Or some windshield wipers. Nice work, everybody. Alrighty, extending our legs out behind us one more time, keeping our heads in that same position. You can have your hands resting on top of each other for a forehead support. We'll be doing just our right leg for this movement, and then we'll go to the left for our glute workout. We'll be doing frontline leg lifts. So with our right leg, we're just gonna bring our leg, or we're gonna flex our right leg, and toe is going to stay pointed, and you're gonna bring your right leg a couple inches off the ground, as high as you can get it, just engaging all of those muscles from your glutes all the way down to your toes for your right leg. My leg is only coming a few inches off the floor. Bringing our heels up towards the sky. Feeling that pulse through our glutes. Nice job. Keeping it up here. Now we're going to bring it into a T formation. So when we're pulsing up, we're going to go left and right with our toes. And our whole leg, we're going to go left, right, and then lower. So up, left, right, lower. Like we're making a T with our toes. Working the insides and the outsides of our glute. Leg lift, left, right, and lower. Doing these at a pace that's right for you. Glutes should be pretty fired up at this point. And our last one for the right side, we're going to go diagonal. So when you are up, you're going to cross your toes towards your left heel and then back to the start. So we're going diagonal here. Diagonal leg lift, lowering towards our left leg and up to our center. Nice job, everybody. And rest. We'll be going back and doing this all on the left side. We'll be starting with the leg lift. So toes pointed, extending out, and we're just lifting our leg a little bit at a time off the floor. Just with the left leg here. Nice job. Left glute is going to start to burn. And we go into that T formation, bringing our foot up, going left and right with our leg, and then lowering. These are very small movements. They're not exaggerated. We're going a couple inches max in any direction. Nice work. And now we go diagonal up and down to towards the right and up towards the left. Nice work, everybody. And shaking it out, we are going to go roll over and sit on our bottoms, going into our last core rotations before our cool down. Sitting nice and tall, feet are going to be flat on the floor. I'm bringing my feet a little bit closer to me so my knees are right in front of my chest. And we're going to start with cherry pickers. You can either keep your feet flat on the floor or you can raise them up off the floor. And we're going to be taking our hands and touching the left side or the ground by our left hip, and then reaching over and touching the ground by our right hip and rotating back and forth. If your feet are off the floor, you're gonna notice that you're gonna lean back. If they're slightly off the floor, that's a little bit of a challenge, but if you want a further challenge, you can bring your feet up into a tabletop position. I will be keeping my feet just hovering off the floor, leaning back so that I don't fall over, and rotating, touching the floor on the left and the right side of my body with both of my hands. A little bit of shaking here, and that's normal. Your body's working nice and hard. Nice job, everybody, keeping it up here. Making sure to take a break if you need, or lowering your legs to the ground to keep going if you need to take a break. Nice job. And shake it out. We'll be going into our boat to low boat. So sitting back with our feet up off the floor. You can have your toes rested if you would like. If you need a little bit extra support, our hands are out in front of us and we extend our legs ever so slightly and bring our knees back towards our chest. So our knees are close together, our feet are off the floor, we're leaning back a little bit, extending our legs forward and tucking them back in for our boat to low boat. Again, this is just a small movement. Sometimes I put my hands behind me as support, flat on the floor, with my fingertips facing forward, bending at the arms so I can kind of extend, and I'm still working on the abs, but I have a little extra support. Nice job. A few more here. And resting. Our last one is going to be seated alternate toe taps. Our feet are going to come up off the ground and we're going to alternate touch our toes to the floor. Again, I like to rock back a little bit and use my hands as support behind me as a modification, and my fingertips are facing forward, so I'm bending at the elbow here for support behind me and toe tapping here. If you need a challenge, keeping those hands up off the floor and above your knees. Feel a little nice burn through your thighs here. And your abs. And shaking it out. Great job, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and move it to our cool down music. And get a sip of water if you need. Great work. Getting a sip of water here. I'm gonna be starting us with some cat-cows. Getting into that traditional tabletop where our knees are under our hips and our wrists are stacked underneath of our shoulders. I'm gonna go ahead and bring my belly button up towards the sky, having a little bit of bend to the back of my spine. On the inhale, spine goes up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, pushing my belly down towards the ground, arching my back and looking forward, bending that belly button as close to the floor as I can get. Inhale, spine goes up towards the ceiling, nice rounded back for our cat. And exhale, pushing our chest down towards the floor, belly button towards the floor, face goes forward. Rotating through these at your own pace. Inhale into cat, exhale into cow. Nice stretch here through the back, taking nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Bringing our toes to the floor, so our feet are flexed. We're going to go ahead and rock back, bringing our knees up off the floor into a downward dog. My feet are a little bit wider than hip width apart now, and I am bringing my chest in between my shoulders, trying to get my heels on the floor into this nice downward dog. Feeling that stretch through the backside of my legs. Bringing it down to my knees. Rocking back into child's pose. Chest to the floor, hands extending out in front of me. Tucking my chin into my chest and trying to get my chest low to the floor, extending my arms. Getting our heart rate back down to normal, and we roll over to our backs. My back is flat on the floor, my legs are extended out in front of me, and I'm just gonna lay here for a second. Kind of gathering my breaths, feeling my body here for a second. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab my right knee, keeping my back flat on the floor, and pull it in for a nice hug. Left leg can stay straight as we bend and try to get our knee as close to our chest as possible, stretching out the backside of our right leg, the inside or our hamstrings. And switch, bringing our right leg extending out in front of us again, flat on the floor, and hugging our left knee to our chest. Extending both legs straight out in front of us now, we're gonna shake it out and bring them both in for a nice hug, bringing both of our knees towards our chest, hugging them tight, and that stretch on our backs. You can add some movement into your toes or your ankles by doing some circles here, or just flexing them up and down if you need something to move. Sitting up now, we're gonna go ahead and have our legs a little bit wider than hip width apart, straight out in front of us. And we are going to do a seated forward fold with wide legs, reaching our arms out in front of us on the middle of the floor. And that stretch through the insides of our thighs. Walking our hands over to our right leg, leaning towards the right. Left hand can go overhead if you would like, or just reaching towards our toes. You can land somewhere along your knee, all the way to your ankle, maybe further. Nice stretch to the right. Walking our hands through the middle of this floor over to our left, stretching out onto the left side, feeling it through the inside of our thighs, the back of our leg. And sitting nice and tall, bringing our legs together into a traditional forward fold, but we're gonna do it seated. So knees are still touching, legs are next to each other and reaching down towards our toes. Nice stretch to the back of the legs. And bringing our feet together into a butterfly. Knees are outstretched to the right and to the left, and bringing our heels together towards our body. The bottoms of my feet are touching, my toes are forward, my hands are resting on my hands are resting on my feet. Feeling that stretch again through the inside of our thighs here. Extending one leg out in front of us, keeping the other leg tucked in. We want to keep our heel as close to our body as we can. Left foot is rested on right leg. Knee again is still out wide to the left, and we are reaching it towards our right leg now. Bringing our right leg in, extending our left leg. Now our right leg is resting, our right foot is flat against our left thigh, and we are reaching towards our left foot. then finding a spot on the ground that is comfortable for you. You can sit crisscross, or you can be in butterfly, or keep that position. Or do another stretch, and just take a few deep breaths here, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Keep those deep breaths going.